Today we'll talk about nominalization, power of verbs. There are no nouns, only slow verbs. Once my English teacher told me verbs bring life to the language, and since then I've started to use more verbs. Later, during my HR practices, I learned that if you use a lot of action verbs to describe your work or experience, you sound like a person of action, which is a plus for employment process. Consider, develop, implement, negotiate. Such verbs are usually the strongest in the sentence. You've probably noticed that. The impact of and the effect from the sentence depends on that sounding verbs. In fact, go is a complete sentence, and the verb is the only part of speech that can stand alone as a complete sentence. So logically to conclude that verbs are more powerful than noun phrases. Using noun phrases instead of verbs is known as nominalization, and opposite process is called verbalization. I personally call it hiding verbs. So why to hide them? I'm not sure about this, but as I see it, there may be several reasons. First, writers might think that noun phrases sound more professional, solid, or presentable. The implementation of the appraisal process sounds more impressive than implement the appraisal process. I doubt that. Plus, we've already learned that professional and impressive is reader-focused, clear, concise, easy-to-read message. Second reason might be an attempt to meet the symbols requirement in the academic writing, a trick often applied by students. Though some nominalizations may be useful, we'll talk about this later, but majority makes our writing unnecessary, wordy, long and complex. For example, we undertook an analysis is definitely longer than simply we analyzed. And not we've taken into consideration, but we've considered. Or the committee agreed instead of there was a committee agreement. Generally, we advise try to avoid the is and there are constructions. They can be easily substituted, and you'll avoid extra words. Take it as a rule of thumb to change every noun word that can be changed to a verb. Watch out for nouns that end into ion, meant, tion, al, anc. For example, instead of saying legalization, use legalize. Instead of reaction, react. Instead of movement, move. Refusal and arrival can be replaced by refuse and arrive. Assistance, resemblance with assist and resemble. No sense to use nouns anyway. You will have to link them with another verbs such as give, have, make, take. For example, make movement, have reaction, give assistance. Plus, the sentence sounds weaker. Though it doesn't mean that all words that end with those letters are bad or absolutely pointless. But considering them will help you decide which strategy to choose to make your writing more readable. I think it's worth mentioning that nominalization can be also recommended in some cases. First, avoid blaming someone. People are removed, and therefore responsibility for the action has also been removed. I'm sorry I have failed to reply on time. I'm sorry about the failure to reply on time. Keeping the text impersonal when needed. And third, nominalization is widely used in academic writing. It can help create variety in your writing. More on nominalization you can read in Joseph Williams' style, Toward Clarity and Grace. To sum up, be stone-hearted, cold-blooded, brutal editing and revising. You'll need to cut out words, change sentences and state things in a more straightforward way, and your writing will be more concise, tighter, with the end result of making more readable and understandable to your reader.